Welcome back to the Womenify. We have Liza, Margarita, Kathleen, Faustina, and Samara.
Yeah.
We do this every time. Okay, so today we have special guests. Our first guests ever on the podcast. We are very excited. And so, yeah, I'm just going to introduce them. Welcome, Zoe!
Hi guys.
Anyways, and Nadine.
Yay! I'm the number one fan. It's
Yes.
an honor. It's an honor.
Yes. So before I get into what we're going to be talking about today, just wanted to say that as a podcast, as a platform on social media, we wanted to take this opportunity to say that we support the Black Lives Matter movement and that we're very frustrated, upset, and annoyed with the Breonna Taylor case and just feel that she did not get the justice she deserved. So as we just really want to make sure that this message keeps getting out there so something can actually happen. Something can actually happen because this is something really serious, and as Black, well, a lot of us are Black in this podcast, we think this is not fair. Yeah. So
Arrest the cops.
Arrest the cops that killed Breonna
Arrest
Taylor.
the
cops.
Arrest.
All right, so for the topic today, we're going to be
Okay.
talking about safety. This is more towards girls, though this can happen to guys as well. We're just going to be getting into that. So, catcalling. I think we all have a little experience with that.
Oh yes, for sure.
A lot. It's yeah.
Well, I guess for me, I'm the kind of girl, I matured quickly, let's say. My body matured quite quickly, right? So from a very young age, I've been dealing with catcalling, like when I go out, especially here in Angola. Whenever I go out to the shopping malls, just anywhere, really, I go to the beach, I walk outside for 3 seconds, I'm getting catcalled, stared at, even at parties, like family parties, it's really uncomfortable. Just not a great experience. That sometimes I don't even want to wear certain things out because I know that it's gonna create attention, but it shouldn't be my responsibility to do that.
Hey.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of us relate. A lot of us relate, and it sucks because it's not something that we choose, and in society's eyes, like what Liza said about not being able to wear certain things, not because of what society says, but because of our own uncomfortableness, because we know what's gonna happen, like leggings, crop tops, anything tight, it makes you. You're like, oh, I want to look cute, but at the same time, I don't feel like being harassed today. And it sucks because you can't control
today.
that. Yeah.
You know that saying where they're like, if you don't, it's relating to the rape one. If you don't, like, if you got raped, it's your fault because you wore something or blah, blah, you're calling for attention. It's the same thing in the sense that it's not our responsibility to control your disgusting, like, actions,
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
And when I like, especially me, when I like walk, I like, just to not get frustrated, I wear headphones all the time because like
That's tactic.
I mean, it's like, it's kind of bad to one side because like you don't hear. I don't know if they might do something to you, you can't hear it. But it's just so annoying, like hearing it all the time when you're just walking. You have to wear like, I don't know, 3 layers of clothes because you can't show any tightness on your body. So it's
even feel like they
catcall you when you wear 3 or 4 layers of clothes.
Yeah, exactly. Even there.
They think it's complimenting you. They don't realize that it's uncomfortable. You're not complimenting
and
me.
degrading. Like, why are you whistling at me like I'm a dog?
Exactly.
You get snaps.
Like,
Yeah.
annoying.
It's not even like, it's the fact that it doesn't matter if you are skinny, if you are curvy, it doesn't matter if you're whatever race, it doesn't matter. If you're a woman, if you're an elderly woman, if you're a teen, if you're a girl, you're gonna get catcalled. And everyone knows that. And it's disgusting, to be honest. And yeah.
Exactly.
Well, personally, for me, like you guys were saying about the clothes, it's like, for example, if I'm like at home, I usually am wearing like what I would call PE shorts or whatever. But if I know that I need to go to like a store, I feel the need to have to change. And I feel like it's not even just because of the guys, but I don't know if this happens for the women people in the chat. But like, I've grown up in a house where it's like, I'm told that it's like, yeah, we're going out, you can't wear that, it's too short. They're gonna be looking as if it were my fault.
Definitely.
So I have that in mind already, and it's like, if it's not like after soccer or something and I have time to change, I will not go out in shorts. Never.
Yeah, and I remember this time. Yeah, there was one time, it was so ridiculous. So I was walking, and then somebody called me. I was annoyed. I was very annoyed. So I cursed at them because I was very annoyed. And the guy looked at me, and he was like, "Wow, you curse?" And I was like, "What?"
They think we're like
expectations, and it's like, it was so ridiculous. So many aspects were ridiculous in that. Like, I didn't even know where to, like.
They try to intimidate you. They try to intimidate you because you're a woman. You're supposed to be weak. You're not supposed to be like, show that you're strong. You have to be like.
Personally, I never talk back. Like I never talk. Like when this stuff happens, I walk away. But I remember this one time specifically. I was with a friend, and they were like catcalling her, and she's pretty like short and curvy. And I remember initially I just grabbed her and I talked back. Like when it happens to me, I never say anything. But when I saw it happen to my friend, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like I felt so pissed, bro.
I never talk back either because it's like, it's not even necessary. But like that time, they said, I don't even remember what they said, but it was so disgusting.
It's like looking back.
So tell us about your.
Hold on, girl. Hold on.
Nadine, go ahead.
Guys.
Yeah.
I was saying,
Go,
like,
Nadine,
when you look back at a moment, you're like, oh, I should have punched him. I should have, like, tackled him. I should have said, like, shut up. And then in the moment, you're, like, scared. Because, like, what do I do?
Yeah.
You know,
Even though I love hearing you guys, I love hearing you guys say all this, but I cannot relate. I cannot relate. Every single time I have an opportunity to say something back, I do. And literally, I mean, now, you know,
that is really cool.
We don't go out often now, but every time I do, and it's usually a supermarket, and that's what sucks. When I go out, it's not even to beaches. It's not even places where you'd normally you know wear less clothes or whatever. Not, you know, it's a supermarket with people around. I'm meant to feel safe, you know?
Yeah. Oh, you know what's crazy?
What?
Like, you know, when you're told by your mom or like your grandma, like your uncle is coming, put something on.
I was just about to say this.
Oh, yes.
You guys, that's really gross.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's sometimes it's part of like religion and culture.
Yeah.
But other times it's like,
No,
I don't know.
I think
I haven't experienced it other time.
for me it's really different.
Even here.
Because I grew up
very close.
Hello, it's my uncle.
But it's very
No, that's what I'm saying, people. Here, I don't think it's part of a religion. It must be the culture because, you know, you have to... Even the passport pictures. I had to go take a picture and I wore, like, it wasn't covering everything. And the rule is you have to cover shoulders. And I was like, what is the point of that? Can I not show my shoulders on the picture? Like...
There was, but the thing
It's
here,
so weird.
it's also, a lot of uncles rape their.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's not a lie.
It's not. Yes.
It's a lot.
It's the
There's a
reality.
lot.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm pretty lucky that my mom is a pretty, let's say, modern mother, right? She's more likely to buy things that are more showy than I actually am. Like, she'll buy me the shorts. There's a swimsuit that I have that my mom bought me. When I first saw it, I was like, what does this lady think? That I'm working in some sort of adult area? Like, what is that? But, yeah, no, I'm really lucky that my mom is like, I'd rather you wear it here around me, and it's like, let's normalize it in our house so that when you go out, you don't feel strange.
Weird.
Or you have the case of girls that will like wear something at home because their parents tell them, and then they get to school and change, right? So my mom wants to make sure that's not something that happens. You see? Yeah, no, my mom is like, no, especially because my mom used to wear the same thing. So if you look back at pictures of her shorts were even worse than mine. So I'm like, you can't argue with me there. So I can't relate to the because your uncle's coming over, cover up situation, but the public thing, which is like I'm at a grocery store, why are you catcalling me? It's 100% a reality.
Even the security people.
Oh, ridiculous!
My gosh.
Yes.
Literally, oh my days. That's so. No, man. Hold on. I went to Candandu the other day, and sometimes they don't even necessarily have to catcall you in order for you to realize that they're just checking you out.
It's the eyes, bro. It's the look. It's
like the other day, I crossed the road, and there's a path walk or whatever those things are called for a reason. Those stripes.
Zebra.
Those zebra stripes, and I use it.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. Educational indeed.
It's not.
It is, girl.
Zebra.
Anyway. Yeah, in Russian, that's how it was.
In Russian. Sorry.
How do you say it in Russian?
This girl's backing her up. You don't even know.
Anyway.
Well, I get to the guard where he's like gonna give me the hand sanitizer or whatever, and he's like, wow, the pretty girl knows how to use the whatever zebra thing. And I was like, he's like, the pasadera. And I was like, yeah, like
are you stupid? Oh my god.
I'm not trying to get run over. Are you stupid or are you dumb?
Girl, though,
girl.
Yeah,
I've been called so many names. I've been called doll.
Mosa?
Wait, girl with
Mosa's my fave, bro.
Yeah.
When they hit you with a like, who are you calling, bro? Who is that?
Mulata.
Oh, don't even.
Or it's mulata, or it's what do they call like Portuguese girls? No.
Portuguese.
Tugas, yeah, or pula or something like that. Pula. Or it's mulata.
Yes.
Like, why? Why do you have to just be like, ole esa cabrita? What?
Nah, bro.
What?
Yeah. What? Oh, this is something here in Angola.
Like when you're mixed.
It's
when one family is mixed and the other one is white. So,
yeah.
And they have so much hate for us. Like, it's not my fault my mom and my dad decided to have
It's so annoying.
So that's the weirdest thing here in Angola, which is like, you're catcalling me, but you're low-key offending me. And then if you don't like give them the time of day, they'll be like, you're armada, so like you're full of yourself. You're not even all that. Why were you catcalling me in the first place if I wasn't all that?
Just a hot second. Hold on. I have something to say. You do not listen. The amount of toxic and fragile masculinity that circles Angola is so disgusting, because just like y'all said, as soon as you don't give them the time of day, or as soon as you shut them down,
14.
You have offended them. You have cursed them. Their masculinity is broken, and this is the sad part, they either resort to either cussing at you, like when I cuss at them, they look offended and they look disgusted, like I don't get it, but good.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
they turn to violence, which is if you're alone at a party and you do that, you need to go be around people because they will resort to violence, and that's the sad truth.
That's what parents here in Angola always say. When you go to parties and you want to go to the bathroom or you're gonna go get a drink, always go with your friends.
Always.
Or if you leave a drink like on the table and no one's watching or you forgot about it, don't drink it again. And it's something that you have to like really reinforce because it's the reality. They will.
But it's crazy. It's crazy that we have to think about that as women.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the annoying part.
All right, so I'm going to move us along.
Yeah.
Because we need to keep going.
All right.
So, sex trafficking. So, let's preface this by saying that in no means are we experts on this topic. We're still learning so much, but we really think this is an important topic, especially since majority of our listeners are girls, right? And a lot of the people that are affected by this are girls. And secondly, we're going to college next year. And a lot of us are going to be on our own. And this is unfortunately one of the things that you actually have to think about when you're going to do that. So I want to start by saying that this is the definition that when I searched up, we found for sex trafficking, to make sure that we have this correct. So, in legal terms, human trafficking is the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of persons using threats and force or other forms of coercion, abduction, fraud, and deception, abuse of power or abuse of position of vulnerability, and the giving or receiving of payment or benefits to achieve control over another person for the purpose of exploitation. But more specifically to sex trafficking, we're talking prostitution, brothels, massage parlors, things where you're doing sexual things, but they're non-consensual things. So you're not technically saying, I want to do that. It's not consent. So it's not like a strip club or anything like that, right? So I'm just going to state some facts. Feel free to add in as you need. So this is an important fact, I think, especially for people like me who are going to the U.S. to live. So in America, women make up 91% of sex trafficking cases and 57% of labor trafficking cases. So some ways that they get you is seduction and romance. I want to go into this. When you start dating a guy, girls, please make sure you're not compromising your own values for him. He's not being really sus. If you're feeling a bad vibe, you feel like he's being suspicious, he's slowly luring you in and being like, oh, let's try this, let's do that, and you're uncomfortable with it, break up with him. All right? Break up with him, because this can lead to sex trafficking, okay? Please. Next.
Wait, Can I add?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, girl.
I think that it's way too romanticized in our time. And this brings me to the topic of TikToks and how TikToks romanticize it. Like, it's crazy. It's like, I'm your kidnapper and I just kidnapped you. What do you think we're gonna do? Like,
POVs, bro. It's the POVs.
He lets you go, but he was so kind to you that you fell in love with him.
Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome.
Girl, you must run out of there.
That is Stockholm Syndrome.
That's Stockholm Syndrome.
That is Stockholm Syndrome, exactly.
Literally, I'm sorry. I know this is very inappropriate, but if you know that 365-day movie, Stockholm Syndrome. Straight up, kidnapped, fall in love. You didn't fall in love.
What is it about?
I
I didn't watch it, of course. I don't like that stuff.
It's just Stockholm Syndrome.
Basically, this guy kidnapped this girl, this woman.
Yeah.
Girl.
What? I thought they were married.
No, ma'am! He dreamt about her and decides to kidnap her.
He looked for her, and then he found her and kidnapped her. Yeah?
Yeah.
First,
And he was like, give me 365 days for you to fall in love with me. If that doesn't work, then you can leave. But he kidnapped her and she actually fell in love with him. But,
that's Stockholm Syndrome. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
thank you.
But now we're talking about 365 days. Let me talk about an actual thing that happened to a real life person, actually a YouTuber. I think her name is Brittany Louise Taylor. And she's an old YouTuber. She's from the early like 2010s, like those original YouTubers. So she's not like Logan Paul famous.
Wait, Shane Dawson's friend?
Yeah, Shane Dawson's friend.
We don't like him either.
Shane Dawson anymore.
No.
Cancelled.
He did a documentary on her or whatever.
Yeah.
I think.
So basically, she was with this man, and I can't remember where he was from, but he was not from the U.S.
He was Soviet, I believe.
Yeah. So he was, he kind of came into the picture rather really quickly, and before anyone knew it, she got pregnant with his son. And then she kind of went offline, and next thing you know, she's just posting a video saying, hey, I no longer associate with this man, I filed for divorce. Oh, and they got married. I filed for divorce, da-da-da. Later on in the documentary, we learned that, and this is very important for anyone, especially with Liza, what Liza said, the man, whilst they were married, he was very controlling, very manipulative. He gaslighted everything. He took her passport, her ID, the baby's passport, baby's ID. He took the birth certificate of both Brittany Louise Taylor and the baby. He kept all of those documents, and he lied about having them. Later on, she found the documents, and now she had to change her location. The baby no longer can have a passport because the man can do something, and she suspected that they were going to be sex trafficked. Both the baby was going to be like organs, for
Oh,
and the lady was going to be sex trafficked.
Sell children as well, like they sell babies.
Yeah. So if anyone's ever keeping your documents held captive or that is because I know it's very difficult when you're in a situation you can't see the red flags because you're in it and you're maybe in love or you think you are, so it's hard. But if you see, if your documents are being held captive, then girl or guy, please get out.
Yeah. So next one is false job advertisements. Like, always double check. Like, especially if you find it online, double check that maybe it's available on another site, that they're not just putting it up on one site for employment. They lie about educational or travel opportunities. So it's like, oh my gosh, we have this great scholarship for you to go do. I don't know if everyone's watched the Jeffrey Epstein documentary, but he actually did that where he'd be like, oh, I'm gonna get it so your sister can go travel and go to this really cool educational opportunity, and then they end up on this island stranded and having to do very bad things, and these girls are like 16 years old, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so like abduction stuff. Your family can actually sell you. Hopefully none of you guys are in a situation where your family would do that to you.
Gosh.
And then
if you are,
please
ask for help.
Yeah, we put resources below.
Try and find an adult.
Please. And then recruitment through former slaves. So really be careful with what kind of friends you make. And especially if they talked about having had some sort of experience like that, where they're like, oh, you want to make some quick money, this is a great opportunity. Be careful, please.
And there's a lot of that here. It's hidden, of course, but there's a lot that happens.
And then this is go ahead, Dean.
I wanted to say that you mentioned that you can actually sell people, and this is like in a lot of countries like Russia, Azerbaijan, Ukraine. It's really like, I guess, modernized, where they like say, okay, I want to marry your daughter, and I have this much money, and I have this family, and my family is like important, so can I have your daughter? And then the parents are like, okay, well, on those conditions, yes, you can have her. So it's like hidden as well, like Margarita was saying.
100%, Nadine. So these are the last three that I'm going to talk about, I think are some that are most applied to like a lot of the contexts we're living in. So things like Uber scams. This one's super important if you use Uber, especially if you go in them alone. When you get a car on like Lyft or Uber, always make sure you know the model of the car, and usually they have the license plate too. So check, like, make sure they said it's this car, it's this driver that I'm looking for. Don't just be like, oh, it looks like this car, I'm gonna get in. Which is why you should, if you go out like on a fun night to a party, please don't go in an Uber alone, girls. Go with a friend. Go with somebody else, because even in the car, things like taxis, something could happen to you. So you should really avoid going, especially at night. Like during the day, you can kind of get away with it, but at night, avoid going on like in Ubers alone as much as possible, I would say. You wanted to say
There's
the thing.
Yes.
Oh, I was just gonna add before you guys move on. 2 other things that you should always do before getting into any sort of taxi, Lyft, Uber, anything that you use, even over here, whatever they call it, the tupuka taxis.
Kubinga.
2 things.
Kubinga.
Never ever go up to a taxi and say, "Are you here for example, Kathleen?" No, you go, "Hi, who are you here to pick up?" If they say your name, you're probably good, right? Because there are a lot of taxis that fake. They just put on a taxi sign, and all of
That's
that
very
stuff.
smart, actually.
Or ask them what their name is.
Never go up and be like, "Are you here for so and so?" You ask, "Who are you here for?" And the other thing is, before you
could also fake your name, like say, "Are you here for?"
Fake your name, and then if they say yes, then leave. And the other thing is, most cars have the child safety lock, meaning if it's on, you cannot unlock the door from the inside. You always need to check if this child safety, and it's usually on the outside, is like on the side of the door when it's opened.
Yeah, it's
you need to check if it's you need to check if it's on or off. If it's on, maybe switch it off if you can, and if it's off, then you're good, because that means if they lock the car, you can unlock it yourself from the inside.
And always stay in the try to stay behind the driver's seat, so then if something happens.
So you can't grab you easily.
Share your location as well. Sharing your location with your friends or your family. That also works.
Yeah. And there's TikTok sounds that you can use that are like, if you're feeling unsafe, use this TikTok sound, and they're like pretending to be your friend. They're saying, "Hey, are you on your way? Share your address." Then the driver thinks that
Her Wi-Fi. It's her Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but what Nadine was saying is they'll have a
victim
conversation
or whatever
with
has
you.
some friends, so I'm not going to target them.
Yeah, and this also works for if you're being followed. I linked, I think, a sound below, which is like when you're being followed. Maybe I'm gonna try and link it below, which is if you feel like somebody's following you, just turn it on and be like you're having a FaceTime conversation with that person, and that person should stop following you, hopefully. So I'm just going to quickly go through these ones. So parking lot scams, you can also be careful in parking lots at night, especially high up, like those high ones that you go by floors.
I recently read this thread on Instagram that was like, they target girls with ponytails because it's easier to grab them. So wear your hair down, girls.
Yeah. And then lastly, what?
Like when you wear a bun, is it easier or harder?
I don't know. I guess it's the same concept.
It's the same thing. Even when your hair's down, they could just grab
exactly.
it. It's still, I don't get it.
Okay, go bald. Bald woman.
Okay. Let's finish off. Lastly, woman asking for help scam. If you see a girl, look, as much as we want to help other people and be kind people, when you are leaving a party or some sort of thing like that and you see somebody outside being like, "Oh my gosh, I need help," no ma'am. Your thing is, I'm going home, I am getting in the car, and I am going home, because they can try and scam you, and before you know it, you're getting taken by some 2 men in the back. Hell nah. You gotta keep going.
I was so confused.
I
thought this was gonna be one where you were gonna be like, if you see a woman in trouble, go up to her and be like, "Hey girl, what's up?" and act like her friend.
Yeah, that's what I thought. There you go. You said that, I was like, oh.
Unless it's you're with some guys or some girls, if you have people around you, right, that it's if we go up to her, we'll be safe, sure. But on your own, I'm sorry, ma'am. Unless you call 911 or whatever the number is that is for your country, leave. Go to the car. Do not go up to that woman. Okay, So we want to talk about self-defense to finish off the podcast. We have 5 minutes, guys. So
Yes.
this is anybody can take the floor here. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you feel unsafe in like an Uber or taxi or whatever, don't try and be like, oh, let me use this TikTok sound to see if it's gonna work. If you know that you're in trouble, text the cops, text family members. Like, don't just be like, let me try this. Just as soon as you know you're in trouble, take action.
So I don't know, self-defense for me, why it's important to me personally is because it just makes me feel a little bit safer. I don't mean guns. Personally, this is my opinion, I'm pretty anti-guns. I don't mess with that. But I think just knowing some basic stuff that can keep you apart. Like I've done like a few things that can help me out, and I know like a trick from jiu-jitsu on how to grab a guy's hand if they come at me like this. This doesn't make sense because you're only going to hear the sound. If they grab my chest, I know how to like twist their hand so their joint hurts so much that they're in like profusive pain. Like literally they want to kill themselves kind of pain. So
the best spot to hit is their private areas. That will always get them.
Go in between.
Number one trick.
And in the eyes. And like the
and
nose.
throat. Like punch them in the throat so they lose their breath. There's this one video that I found on TikTok where they're like strangling you with their
elbow, arm.
Girl, get that later.
And I'm gonna insert it. This girl teaches you like how to get out of it and whatever.
I also saw that video, Samara.
Yeah.
Is this the girl that has that boyfriend?
They have similar algorithms.
Is that the girl that has the... Is this the girl with the boyfriend? And then she's like, if you're in this situation, this is what you do. Grab him on the hips. Is it that girl? Because I watch her all the time and she's hilarious. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, love it.
As for things, for example, maybe not necessarily self-defense, but I don't want to call them weapons because they're not weapons. I'm not going to tell you to carry around this is important. As much as you think a pocket knife is going to keep you safe, let me tell you something. A pocket knife can easily be, first of all, taken away from you and used against you. Okay, if you don't know how to use it, because, fight or flight is a real thing. And if you think you're going to fight and you end up, flighting. It's going to be bad on you. So, mace, pepper spray.
Yeah, pepper spray.
I'm getting pepper spray as soon as I move out to college.
Yes.
Straight
it's
up.
It's going to be in every bag.
If you are if you do end up being in a taxi and the child safety is on and you didn't know, window breakers, it's this like a specific object, and I think it's a like steel, I can't remember, but you just whack it on the window and it breaks the window. And also, that tactic with keys, that you put the keys in between your knuckles when you're walking on the street in case someone...
Yeah.
Listen, there's specific, as much as that can help, that can actually hurt you and that can weaken you because it's kind of clawing against your fingers. There's a specific thing which has the same use. It's like a knuckle brace or something. It's the same use, but it's easier and more efficient to use. So,
and everything comes in like a keychain, so you can hook it to your keys and it's like efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
also, a taser, depending if it's legal in your country. Personally, in the U.S., it's legal. I can carry around a taser if I need to. I'm probably going to invest in one because I'm planning to go to a big college, and I'm not messing with no frat boys. Not today, ma'am. So I will be having a taser. I will be having a taser.
And you know what, girls? We should all go to, like, kickboxing or, like, Krav Maga after this.
Oh, dude, I've been trying to do that.
We've been, like,
We
Zoe,
need
I
that.
think, I've wanted to for so long.
Same. If you know any places, please tell me.
I kickboxed for a bit. 100% recommend. 100% recommend. It's very good for you. No, I'm straight up.
Okay, Liza, we get it.
Dude, like,
Sourcing.
no, straight up, like, when you know how to hit a good punch, you can break somebody's nose.
Great, because I
Come
don't
at
know
me.
how to slap, so...
Come at me, sir.
Kind of...
Okay, so I think do you guys want to do another one and then we'll just edit it, or do you want to finish off because it's like a minute left for 35 minutes?
We can finish off, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this was very fun. We might have to do this again because there's just so much we can still go into here. We will definitely be
Part
wanting to
two.
have our lovely guests back. Thank you guys so much for coming. We
Amazing guests.
yes.
Yay!
We just
love
completed
that.
a
Thank you,
first.
guys.
This is really cool. If you want more guests and if you have any suggestions, let us know. And we will call them or try to arrange it.
They
Call
don't
them.
know our outro.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
Guys.
no, if you're a fan, she's a fan. Nadine should know this.
I'm a fan, yes.
Okay,
Go,
go ahead, Nadine. Say it.
Yeah, you can end it. Go ahead.
wait, I'm suddenly don't remember it.
So now you can't speak.
It's XOXO Glossy Women. Go ahead, Nadine.
XOXO.
Womenify.
Glossy Women. Glossy Women.
Next time. Go ahead. You have less
Okay. XOXO Glossy Women. See you guys next time. Bye.